Welcome to another mini episode of the YGC Collective. I'm one of your hosts, Giovanna Burgess-White, with my co-host,
Yvette Valdenegro. So happy to be here.
We're excited to bring another speaker on this week from the collective. The reason why we're doing these mini podcasts is two things. One, we want you to get to know the speakers and the sponsors, follow them, stalk them. They are coming to the table with some innovative speaking topics, tools, and resources that you'll be able to go home and really implement in your life. And then two, you're actually going to get to meet them at the collective. So it's nice to kind of do your homework and go see who they are, what they do, and how can they fill your cup, because the whole point of the collective is pouring into yourself. And so we don't want you to just show up and be like, okay, who do I go see? We want you to give yourself, if it's personal development, business development, if it's holistic health, money, anything that your mind, body, or soul needs, we are bringing that to the table. And so we are having you do the pre-work before you just show up on August 19th and August 20th.
Woohoo! Way to go. No, you did great. I just can't wait to bring our lovely guest on because she's amazing and her story is beautiful. And I can't wait for everybody to meet her.
I know. And the universe is so crazy because I feel like I met her years ago. And it's like and we're doing it on Latina Day. So the fact that we have not only two of us, we have two Latina speakers on Latina Day. Rita Bautista, if you don't know her, you're going to know her now. She's pretty much an amazing Latina woman here in the Houston area. She's done so much. She is the founder of the Latina Podcasters, and she's actually going to come in and talk about holistic health. So we're super excited to have her here. Well, welcome to the mini podcast.
Yay!
Hello. Thank you so much for having me on here and for everything that you guys are doing with the YGC Collective. I'm really honored to be part of this kind of mini conference that's going to be really unique and special for everyone who's attending.
Yes. You,
and
honestly,
go ahead.
So much alignment in not only the speakers, but the sponsors. And health and wealth have always been kind of those two topics that women don't like to talk about, or actually they're not educated in it. So it's uncomfortable to talk about. So we know that your topic, as well as the wealth panel topic, are going to be the two hot tickets. And the fact that you're kind of coming out of what you do, I would say, on a day-to-day and what you really talk about in Latina Podcasters into something that's with you, like within you, that you wanted to speak about. So we're just excited for you to let the audience know a little bit about who you are and what you do and what you're going to talk about.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited. You know, I think just as like holistic health is embodying the entire person, I feel like this conversation and having the ability to share my journey and the conversation around holistic health and what it is a 360 approach to who I am as a person as well. So it's not just podcast network and podcasts and podcasting and conversation. It's also like, what are the other components that it takes to make this Rita Bautista, and how does she show up for herself the best way possible? And what are those tools and components that I utilize in order to do that? So I'm really excited. This is kind of the first of its kind. But what a lot of people don't know about me is I'm actually a certified yoga instructor as well. And I've been teaching for about 3 years now. And, you know, it is part of who I am, and just being more open about all the components that it takes to be me.
Yes. Yeah. And as everybody who attends is going to hear more about your story, which is so beautiful. It's encouraging. That full rounded picture is so important. Oh, hi.
He's also part of it.
Special guest. I love it.
Yeah.
So cute. Look, he's just going to stay. He's here.
Yeah.
Well, we're excited to have you. Seriously. And when people get to know you, just your presence, your peace, and then, like we've been saying, just your personal story and everything that you're going to be sharing is going to be so dynamic in ways women really do, you know, taking care of ourselves, understanding stuff. But what I love about your part of your journey right now is you are on the cutting edge of so much information. Yeah. So, you know, sometimes as women, we can spend hours on the internet looking and searching and understanding. And what about this? What about, you're going to come with the almost like the cheat codes and the cheat sheet of listen, this is what you need to know and where you need to be, which I think is incredible, because we don't have time all the time to be doing all that research, and how valuable it is to learn from someone so experienced as yourself. So I'm really excited for everybody who gets to listen to you.
Yeah, I feel like, especially since it's geared towards women, just a quick synopsis of what I'll be speaking on, but I was diagnosed a couple months ago with thyroid issues and Graves' disease. And 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with some sort of a thyroid disorder in their lives. And what I think is really interesting is if you go to the spiritual aspect of it, right? Your thyroid's in your throat, and it's the throat chakra that's focused on creativity, communication, and all things that you vocalize. And how many times have we not heard, especially in Latina culture, right? Calladita se ve más bonita. Or, you don't want to speak about that. You don't want to talk about it. You don't want to burn bridges. You don't want to do all these things. And the reality of it is like, what if burning those bridges is what's going to allow you to feel better and to feel whole and healthy, and also to feel more aligned with your authentic self, and we forget that part, that the emotions play a massive role in who we are, and how we show up in this world, in our work, with our kids, with our friends, in community, and in society as well. And it's like, we need women to be able to vocalize their stories and to tell their truth and to hold it in a sacred space, because that's what our ancestors did, right? They used to gather and have conversations and share these secrets and tips with each other in order for us to enjoy this journey that we have in life together. So, I find it very interesting that a person who, has been so focused on owning a podcast network and building that out, and allowing people the space to tell their stories, ends up having an issue with the thyroid. And so to me, it was really telling of like, okay, I guess I'm supposed to tell this story, and also I'm supposed to bring some really great anecdotes and conversations around that, in a fun way. Because I mean, these things can get kind of sticky, and like, we are not in the space of scaring people, but if anything, trying to make for a more pleasurable experience if you have to, for whatever reason, go through something like that, or any other health issue that's related to just being, and I feel like I'm honored to be able to share the stage, to talk a little bit about my story, and just where I was and where I'm at now, and also, just to kind of talk more about the importance of a holistic health approach to the way that we live our lives. And so yeah, I'm excited for it.
You know what I just thought of when you were sharing is part of our mission statement, what is that we want to amplify the voice of the women, the voice of the women in Houston. So this is all coming full circle, even though we didn't know, right? When we started the journey, now it's all coming full circle. So how even much more beautiful and impactful it's going to be for the women that attend, because they're going to, just by saying yes to coming and listening, they're automatically going to be swept into the alignment of, it's their time, and this is a perfect moment for them to hear all of the speakers, and particularly what you have to share. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
I'm glad that you were on, because a couple of things that you even said that came up, like obviously utilizing your voice, like, again, this is the universe and irony. I guess we can say irony, that this is like, when we met you, we thought we were going to have you talk about one thing, but you are being allowed to use your voice in the space. And then you're also giving permission to other women to, doesn't matter. Health has always been, and money, health and money have always been like the taboo. If it's a person that comes in and just says like, I can share my story, I now feel like you're allowing them to give themselves permission to talk about something that's not, normal in society or in culture. So it really is like, we don't invest in that part of ourselves. We invest in our business, like, right? Or it's like, and we have all the to-do lists, but it's like, what about the to-do list for you internally? And I think, I know that that's why the universe brought us together, and that, we say this all the time with our clients, like, we have to go through the growth and the challenges, which we embrace, in order to be able to coach women 3 months, 6 months, a year down the road, that for the same challenges and growth that we went through. And sometimes we see that as being judged, and I don't want to talk. And some people never share, and you're not helping the woman next to you. And I know that there's going to be so many people that you're going to touch, and then so many other women that you're going to educate. So we're just thankful to have you and for you to be open, and then for you to do this with us at the collective and the women that are also going to be speaking. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm honored. Again, like I mentioned, you know, we've kind of gone so far away from, like I was mentioning earlier, our ancestral practices of communication within each other. And it doesn't need to be like a broadcast communication on social media. For those people who are more introverted, it can just be having a conversation with your friends about motherhood, of labor, of, of mental health, postpartum, which is a huge topic that I think a lot of people used to feel so shamed about. And it's a true honor to say that as a mother, you've had this experience, because it's part of being naturally who we are, and having the ability to share that, or to at least comment on it, I think is our superpower as women. It's part of our divine power, is to be able to interweave our stories together so that we have the other pieces that we might be missing. And sometimes that conversation doesn't necessarily happen with your doctor, because a lot of people are afraid of telling them everything, right? It's like, we're humans, we're adults, some people do things that may not be the healthiest, or at least in their minds, they think that way because these things have been created to be taboos, right? Like, I'm very open about my plant medicine journey. It's something that helped me a lot with my mental health and just as an overall person. And that's also something that's been seen very taboo. However, the way I look at it is, my ancestors used to practice this. And, if they used to, then why am I afraid of reactivating something that they utilized so well during their time? And just other things, right? Like other things that we are so ashamed and afraid of, and that guilt starts to accumulate into the body. Your shame and your guilt accumulate and start to create disease and disorders in the body.
Yeah.
And like the only way to get through it is to talk about it and to get it out of your body, out of your system, out of your mind, so that you don't have to hold on to that, so it doesn't rob you of the present moment.
Great. Love it.
I love that. Well, thank you for being on. We are doing this so that people can go follow you now. And even though that's not on social, which is totally fine, getting to know who you are, what you've been doing in the world of the Latina podcasters, and then the community you've built and the women that you've helped. And then come see us on August 19th and 20th. We're going to take you off stage to close out the rest of the show. Thank you so much for being here, Rita.
Thank you.
Oh, my goodness.
I love these moments because every single time all of this week, it's like you leave going, we just got going in the conversation and the beauty of what she's going to be sharing. So I know that anybody listening to that is going to feel the same way.
Yes. If you can't wait till August, don't worry. Wherever you're watching and listening, links are there to go follow Rita. Like I said, get to know her, the community she's built, the awards that she's gotten. Like every time I see her, I'm just like, oh my, I'm so amazed that I even get to know her. And then we will be back again next week with more sponsors and speakers. And if you're watching for the first time, if you buy a VIP ticket, this is what we love about what we're doing. It's a little more exclusive. We are bringing the speakers and sponsors together the night before to have a very intimate dinner with only 25 guests. And we're strategically seating women together with these speakers and sponsors. So if there's something here that you heard either with Rita or any of our sponsors and speakers, that's when you should get the VIP ticket. And if you're like, oh my God, that sounds crazy, I'm introverted, I don't want to do that, no worries. You'll be able to meet the speakers on the 20th as well. It is Latina Day, so I'm super excited. When they're done with their speaking topic, there are going to be places with them to connect. So it's not just going to be like you're just going to see them for that time frame. You'll be able to connect with them after as well. So we're super excited to have some more speakers and sponsors coming on next week. If you have any questions, you know where to find us.
Bye.